Hello and welcome to my predictions video for tonight's NXT Great American Bash special edition show that, I don't actually know which order it happened in, but is blatantly one or the other is to go head to head with the other because it's going head to head with AEW's Fyter Fest. Both happening tonight and a week tonight. As like a two-part special, so I don't know who had the idea first, but the other one certainly jumped on it really quickly. So I'm just going to do predictions for night one for now, and then next week I'll upload the predictions for that week's episode. And I've not been 100% keeping up to date with my wrestling the last few weeks, so these are sort of gut feeling predictions rather than I've been watching and studying the patterns of how the booking's been going and all that sort of stuff. So I might be right, I might be wrong, just for a little bit of fun. Let me know in the comments what your predictions are for night one. I'm going to work up, I'm on the Wikipedia article, it seems to be roughly in reverse order. What may be the main event is up at the top, and what is probably going to be the opener, or at least the least significant matches down at the bottom. So I'm just going to work bottom to top. Starting with Only Larkin versus Timothy Thatcher. I have no idea what the motivation is for this match, but it's been pre-announced. It's Timothy Thatcher, I'd guess. He's newer in. Only Larkin isn't exactly on some major upward trajectory. Timothy Thatcher came straight into a major program with Matt Riddle. I feel like this is just building Timothy Thatcher, basically. So yeah, Timothy Thatcher wins. I imagine it'll be a slightly competitive match, but I think it'll be a convincing win for Thatcher. Next, we have a handicap match. We have Rhea Ripley versus Alia and Robert Stone. So an intergender handicap match, where if Ripley loses, she must join the Robert Stone brand. Now, this is interesting. I don't know how they're going to tackle the intergender side of things. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure Ripley's bigger than Robert Stone, so it won't seem as odd, but are they actually going to have him hit her? Because WWE is very funny about intergender wrestling and intergender physicality, and has sort of very specific, like when they did the Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey against Stephanie and Triple H match. Ronda Rousey attacked Triple H at one point. I don't believe he ever got a shot on her, and I don't think Kurt ever got a shot on Stephanie. They're very careful about stuff like that. But with this being handicapped, there's no one else for Robert Stone to hit. So he's either not going to be involved at all, or he's not going to land a shot on Ripley, which is it's going to be an interesting match to watch. Anyway, my prediction is Rhea Ripley's going to win. There is some legs in potentially having Ripley join the Robert Stone brand and be like a reluctant member, like a John Cena Nexus situation, which, my God, was 10 years ago, or something along those lines. But I honestly think Ripley losing would be considered an upset. I can only see that happening where Robert Stone basically leaves it to be a one-on-one match, but keeps stopping Ripley from winning. And then she maybe gets frustrated, beats up Robert Stone, and then Alia gets a sneaky win somehow. That could happen, but I'm just gonna go ahead and predict Rhea Ripley to win. Again, same as the Timothy Thatcher thing. I think this is just building up Ripley again, basically. She's had a couple of big losses in title matches, so building her back up to the point where she can either re-challenge or get into some major story with another major women's star. Next, Roderick Strong and Dexter Loomis in a strap match. Roderick Strong has been in this pattern for quite a while, going back to when I was watching regularly, which I've only maybe missed a few weeks, maybe a month tops, but he's been in this holding pattern for a long time. He's putting a lot of guys over at the moment. He's kind of like a bit... The Undisputed Era are generally kind of fall guys for Adam Cole. People beat the Undisputed Era to get to Adam Cole. And then he wins and retains the title, and it's been a bit in that pattern for a little while now. And with that in mind, and with the story being built of Dexter Loomis versus the Undisputed Era, I think Loomis probably wins here. It might even be like a DQ win where he's about to win and Undisputed Era get involved or something like that. But I think Loomis might win this because I think he could potentially challenge Adam Cole next if Adam Cole gets through the challenge of Keith Lee, which we'll discuss next week. So it's a strap match, which I think would be more in Loomis's wheelhouse as well. Roderick Strong is more of a sort of pure wrestler. So, yeah, I think Dexter Loomis is probably winning that one. Next, we have the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. And it's Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, and Tegan Nox. One of those will be challenging Io Shirai in the near future. I'm not sure if they've confirmed when that match will be happening. It could even be as soon as next week, I suppose, to make next week's show a big deal as well. But out of those, see, Io Shirai is basically babyface now, from my understanding of things. She basically turned during the Charlotte program. She's taken on Sasha Banks on this night, who is definitely a heel. So Io Shirai is like, she's kind of tweenerish because she's not really changed back to her babyface persona, but she's definitely supposed to be the good guy in this story. So that probably takes Mia Yim and Tegan Nox out of the equation, although we can quite happily do face versus face matches, especially for championships. We do know WWE prefer face versus heel, though. So that makes me think it's Dakota Kai or Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano as a couple have been receiving quite a big push, but I don't know if that means Candice is going to be next in line, because I feel like Candice losing this match through some sort of shenanigans. I mean, I know it's elimination, so she can't lose without being pinned, but, you know, through being ganged up on or some sort of thing that they can complain about might be more beneficial, because if she's the next challenger, she's losing. Like, I don't think Io Shirai's title reign is being cut that short. So, I don't know. Candice LeRae is the name jumping off the page at me, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure they'd just feed her to Io Shirai this soon into their build. You know, as this new heel power couple that Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Dakota Kai is gonna pick up the win. I feel like Dakota Kai gains from winning this match and doesn't lose too much from then subsequently losing to Io Shirai, the same as Candice LeRae would lose from, like, she'd lose a lot of momentum from losing to Io Shirai at this point. So I'm going to go Dakota Kai. My gut is saying Candice LeRae, but my brain's saying Dakota Kai, so we'll see. But I'm going to go Dakota Kai. And then the main event is going to be Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks, who will have Bayley with her. It's a non-title match. It's NXT Women's Champion versus one half of the WWE, easy for me to say, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And it's a tough one. It is kind of a tough one. I feel like this might advance the Sasha Bayley story, the prolonged tension and lack of tension and then back to tension and eventually going to fall out story. And I think Bayley might somehow inadvertently cost Sasha the match here. Io, big win for her. Makes her look strong as champion going into a title defense against whoever wins the Fatal 4-Way. And we can advance the Sasha Banks Bayley story, because we're starting to approach SummerSlam, which I feel is where Sasha and Bayley should clash. So I feel like we need to start building momentum on that story, unless they've abandoned it again, like they did last time they were doing it. So yeah, I'm going to go with Io Shirai to win, somehow thanks to botched interference by Bayley. And then maybe as soon as next week, we might be seeing Io Shirai and Dakota Kai for the Women's Championship. The only match that's currently confirmed and announced for next week is the Adam Cole, Keith Lee winner takes all match for both titles, which I will give my thoughts on next week, just before it happens. I already have thoughts in my head about that, but I just want to talk about night one, seeing as that's what's happening tonight. So let me know in the comments who you think. Just to recap, I've got Timothy Thatcher, Rhea Ripley, Dexter Loomis, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai. No major surprises there, I don't think, in terms of predictions. Like, the Fatal 4-Way elimination match, I feel, is the least predictable. I feel like Tegan Nox could win it, and then Dakota Kai could cost her the title shot. Maybe even attack both Io Shirai and Tegan Nox. Like, that could happen. You know, like, that's not beyond the realms of possibility. That's the unpredictable match on this card, in my opinion. So let me know what you think. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be doing a review of this show as well. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, as well as all the other content I do on this channel. And don't forget to share with your friends. If they're into their NXT and their wrestling and might want to give their thoughts in the comments, they're more than welcome to. Also, check the description for my other channels, my social media, and my Patreon, if any of those interest you. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Ebeza, you've been amazing, and I'll see you next time.